Hello, I'm Danny Koontz. I'm Director of Relationship Management for Windy City Equipment. Welcome to another episode of FM Corner. Today we're going to talk about something that everybody is familiar with, parts stocking. Gone are the days when every service company that came to do work for your company had a whole truck and there were tons and tons of parts on there. It's not how it works anymore. Those parts are gone. There are systems in play to basically try to get most every part delivered across the country in 24 hours. So the stocking of parts program is a far different cry than what it was before. In times like today, it's very difficult to get parts. So the lead time is even worse, and it's not that overnight program because the parts aren't available. So it's even more of an issue. So what does parts stocking really mean? You as a restaurant facility manager typically have long-term relationships with your vendors that you do work with. What you want to do is sit down with that partner and figure out, are there some parts that routinely break in this particular restaurant company? If there is, let's work on a part together where we as the vendor stock a few of those to help out. So when they go wrong, we can respond quickly and we don't have to wait for those parts to come in. You work on that with your restaurant facility partner. What do they think? What are the reasons to look at? What makes a difference besides just ordering group parts? Look at their equipment list. How many locations do they have? Are they all the same? Do they always use the same fryers, same grills, same ovens? If they do, that's wonderful for you. Because then as a vendor, I can stock a few parts, but it's going to cover basically 75% of their locations. And that's what you're looking to do. Maybe their griddle in this particular company is the same griddle that two other people use, and we already stock parts for them. Well, then you just add a couple, and now you have 3 groups to draw from. That's a very helpful way. But agree on what those parts are, and it has to be the parts that typically fail, or a particular part that is very difficult to get. As the vendor, you say, I don't want to carry all that cash with the parts. As a former facility guy, I would agree to have helped with that cost. Maybe I pay you X amount of money to hold those parts for me because all I need to do is to use them one time and it's well worth whatever it is that I may be spending. So maybe I help you with those parts. But the facility manager and the vendor partner have to work together to establish what those are. Don't go crazy. We're not stocking 20, 25 parts for one particular restaurant company. We're not. But maybe we stock 3 or 4. Maybe we stock 5. Maybe 2 of those are shared with another person, which is even better for the vendor because his opportunity for those parts to get used just went up because there's more than one vendor or one restaurant that uses them. If you have a specialized item, you may need parts for that because of the difficulty to get them. You may even want to stock the equipment. Maybe you have a make table and your make table is 75¼ inches, which is not standard, which means if you've got to order another one, it's got to be made. Well, on that side, go to your equipment partner and say, I need 2 of these. One with the doors on the left, one with the doors on the right, and I want you to stock them. And here's what I'm going to pay you for a period of time to stock those for me, because if I ever use one, it's well worth the money. So maybe you stock equipment, but you also stock parts. You're not stocking parts for a customer that calls you twice a year. You're going to stock the parts or look at it with your chain customers and those people who are your premier customers that you use all the time because you provide a help for them in that situation, and let them help you with it. Review your list at least 2 to 3 times a year. Go look at that list if you're the facility manager and see what parts are on there. What's moving? Do I need to up the number of items on a certain item? And here's another item that I thought we were really going to use, and it turns out we just had a run on it. So for 6 months, we haven't used any. You can't let your partner try to send those back. You have to agree to help them with the cost of those because they brought those parts in at your request. You can't stick them with it. So try to move them, try to find a home, Try to send them back. Let them get as much back as they can if they're returnable. And then you have to be agreeable to help them in that process, because again, the vendor was bringing these parts in for you. And if they don't sell, they end up being the one losing the money. So look at your list, update your list, and add or change from that as you can. Again, my main topic today is talking about parts and stocking, but you don't have to have a lot, but find those 2 or 3 critical items that you need as a facility manager and of which your vendor is in agreement would be a good idea, because it helps them as well provide this service to your location. Pick those out, stock them, and then review your list and make changes, and understand you're going to need to help your vendor sometimes with parts that weren't used or got sent back and couldn't get full credit for and so on. You're going to have to help that. But if you have a good stocking program in play over time, you will find it saves you a ton, because it helps you with your equipment, your HVAC, whatever that may be, on a service call that instead of waiting days got fixed immediately. And how good is that for your restaurant? That's it for today. I'm Danny Koontz. Hope you enjoyed our episode. Look forward to speaking again soon.